Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. This is Metaphysical Moonlighters. I am Dee, and today we have Ia joining us. We're doing some live readings, some live chakra readings, and Ia is a spiritual counselor. Hi, Ia. Do you want to say
Hi.
hello?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Namaste.
Metaphysical Moonlighters. I am Dee, and today we have
This, I hear the sound.
doing some live readings, some live chakra readings, and Ia is a spiritual. Wait a minute. Counselor. Hi, Ia. Do you want to say hello?
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Ia. Can you go? Yeah, I think I corrected the problem.
Okay. Just greeting everyone. That was it.
Okay, great. So, I have done some chakra readings for some of my clients that will be listening in, and I
Mm-hmm.
do have at least one client and I did a chakra reading for him. His name is Noah, and for Noah's crown chakra um, was blocked. So we do have Ia here, and as she said, she's a spiritual counselor. So Ia can explain to us the effects of having a blocked crown chakra, and also um, some things that we can do to unblock or balance our crown chakra. And I'll also be checking the chat.
Ready now?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready.
Before I get into your particular chakra, Noah, I'd like to give a kind of a general explanation so you can get an idea of what's been happening to you. When we're dealing with our chakra, they should have a coalition, sort of working together. Okay. And it depends on what type of person you are, whether you are a spiritual person or a physical person or a mental person, as to how it's going to affect you. Each of us, every person, every being, every human person is composed of three aspects. Number one, your body. Number two, your mind and your spirit. And all three of these, believe it or not, need to be working sort of together, depending upon whether you're, and I'm picking up with you, a mental person. Okay, you're a mental person. That means most of your functioning is going to be in the mental capacity. But you, of course, have to take care of the body, have to deal with the body, have to deal with your spirit, because we are body, mind, and spirit. With you and some of the things that you were talking about being diverted in all these different directions, from, would imagine during the day, you've got several different directions that you take at one time. This is mental, extreme mental, but at the same time, you have to be in all these different places. So that entails your physical. Now, with the chakra work within the physical being. Okay, we
Excuse
are in our.
me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Ia. I for some reason you keep going like I can see you and then I can't see you. And
I know.
also, I just want to make an announcement that anybody who joins us, if you're not speaking, can you mute your phone? That might help us
Yeah,
focus on one person.
I see me
Okay, I'm sorry.
disappearing all the time. Yeah. All right, now let's deal with your crown chakra, because each of your chakra has a particular job to do. Okay. The location of the crown chakra is important because that is our highest portion of our physical being. And it's in touch with all the wisdom, all the understanding, body, mind, and spirit. Okay. It's not just the mental faculties. With it being out of alignment, when Dee found out that it was out of alignment, it's because it's not focusing totally on what's going on. You're confused about whether you should or shouldn't do something. And your physical body has to be over engaged because you're doing so many things. And then your spirit is probably saying, is this your destiny? Is this your destiny? What you can do instead of just getting up in the morning and just operating. I know I've disappeared, Dee. Is Noah, instead of just getting up in the morning and just operating,
Right.
you want to focus on grounding yourself, okay? Because the physical body is really been put in overdrive, okay? When you ground yourself, you can do it by simply meditating on what it is that is highest for you, best for you. Not only what you're going to want to do, where you want to go, how you want to do it, okay? But what is best for you, your highest good. Because if your crown is closing, blocking off, then that means it's in need of something.
Oh.
Uh-huh. And that's the wisdom, that's your guidance system, that's your highest portion of you in connection to your soul. Okay, because that next chakra up is connected to your soul energy. If it closes off, that means that it's processing differently than it needs to be. Because of being a mental person, you can focus your attention, and you more so than, say, a physical person, you can focus your attention in the mornings before, if you have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, take 15 minutes before you do anything. Brush your teeth, unless you got to run to the bathroom. But before you do anything, focus on your here, your present, and what is your highest good. And align yourself with your energy. That's connecting your body, your mind, and your spirit, okay?
Okay.
Is it making some sense in your
Yeah, I was just thinking when I'm at work, because I actually do have to work really early. It's funny you said like kind of focusing that I'm here, because like when I'm in the morning and people ask me, like kind of the usual like, "Hi, how are you doing?" Like, my response is kind of like a non sequitur response. I'll say like, "Well, I'm here, I'm present, this is happening." And I like recite that to my answer.
Okay, yeah, definitely ground yourself. Ground yourself, because your empowerment, your purpose, and your being, what your mission is for being here in this realm, it needs to be connected to Mama Gaia, Earth. You need that connection. So ground, find out your highest purpose, and if something comes in that you don't want to be bothered with, that's something that you need to put on the back burner, be it a person, okay, or an obligation that you think you need to involve yourself in. Put it to the side, out of your way. Because your guidance system is going to say, okay, we want you to move forward. You got a choice, a goal, something that's going to get you where you want to go. And if that guidance system gets blocked and you're diverted in all these different directions, it's pretty difficult to be empowered with the electricity flowing normally. Now, normally is not going to be the same thing all the time. You might have a heavy day at work. Okay, that means your physical is going to have to take over a little bit. Okay, your mind is still going to be processing. That's who you are.
Right.
It's a lot with chakra. Once they start getting your attention, it's because there's a need. And your need basically is to ground. Okay. And you're trying to produce at the same time. You're accomplishing a goal. That's producing something. That's the sacral chakra. It's functioning. It needs power. Okay. And all the rest of them need power as well. But if something is out of balance, then everybody's going to be kind of wobbly in there. All of your chakras.
Okay.
And another thing with projecting out what you want. If you're diverted in so many different directions, if your goal is on having friendship, companionship, and your mind is on something else, you are not being projected because you're all split up. You got to kind of bring yourself back together, find your priorities, ground yourself every day.
Okay.
You said you do meditation sometimes.
I do. A while back I read about how you can visualize different chakras to kind of imagine them sort of like glowing to try to like chakra cleanse them in some sort.
Yeah.
And, so for a few years, I've kind of on and off tried doing that. Not like probably as consistently as I should. But I would at least say I'd put like a fair amount of effort every week or so, just trying to focus on all of them. Particularly more so, I think I focus more on my third eye the most. But I do try to do a sort of like chakra cleanse and sort of like focusing on them and sort of like an aura, kind of imagining like to try to like do sort of healing visualizations.
When you visualize your highest self, okay? And get to know that highest self, that visualization that you have, because that's something that you can tune in on. You know, that your guidance system is going to take over and give you that once you start focusing on it. Bring in your highest self and the vibration of that highest self. And bring it down, starting at your crown, bring it down to your third, your throat, continue all the way down until you ground, down to your root chakra. Whatever that visualization of your highest self is, you know, and that energy, that vibration, keep it with you. Bring it up during the day. If something overwhelms you, you've got 5 schedules in one day, bring in that highest self vibration, whether it's got a color, whether it's got a shape. But when you visualize, that's important. It's very important, because you then start to see when your chakras are out of alignment yourself. And that's something, there's so many people with chakras out of alignment that people need to learn how to, you know, balance and restore when something goes off, because it happens every day. You are on the way to work and somebody offends you. The chakra is impacted. You get to work and there's an overload. Somebody's made a mistake. You're impacted, you know, and then before you know it, God, I got a neck ache. My neck keeps aching me. It's because you haven't spoken up about something that's going on. And before you know it, the one chakra that really is out of alignment now is going to start suffering along with a couple of other chakras. Yes, so visualize on your highest purpose and get your color and your an image if you choose. If you don't choose, it can be a bright light, but bring it down through all of your chakras.
Okay. Okay. Now that you mention it, I have had some sort of like a bit of a headache like around the top of my head. So I wonder if that's sort of the same thing as like a crown chakra or you know.
Yeah, it is. And that's one of the symptoms of something being out of alignment. Headaches, being overly tired, irritable when you're not in the, you know, you don't have any reason to be irritable. You know, even your digestive system, you know, being nervous, being depressed. Those are a lot of things, especially if there's no trigger, no cause. And if it's up in that area, that's your highest connection. That's not good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that's what's leading you forward. That's where you're going to, you know, fulfill your mission here on this planet.
Wow.
Right. And when I did the reading for Norman, you know, I focus in on, was he on the right path? And I received the strength card that's all about power. I received the chariot card that's like, yes, a triumphant yes. He also has the Wheel of Fortune and the Destiny card. So you are definitely on the right path, Noah.
Oh,
So that's great.
well, I
That's
think,
really great. You're so welcome. And remember, I also had a message for you, and your message was, I had it pulled up. But the message was to have confidence. So, but you are definitely on the right path. So that's really great. That's really great. And yeah, for some reason I can't see you. I
I
wonder
know.
why.
I've been gone for a while.
Right. Do you know what's going on?
I have
These
no
crazy
idea. You know me.
computers.
You know me, and here I am. I'm back now.
Oh, I see you. Okay.
No.
These crazy
Uh-oh.
computers.
Gone. I don't know what
In
it
and
is.
out.
yeah.
So did you have any other questions, Noah?
Other questions.
Or maybe if you have some, if you think about it, are you going to be hanging out for some more time? Maybe something else will come up.
Sure, yeah. I'm just trying to
Okay.
think really fast.
Um, Somebody in the chat is asking, how can I unblock my heart chakra?
Ooh. Unblocking your heart chakra. Your heart chakra, I bet it's not blocked. Whoever is, I know they're not able to speak, but for the most part, the heart chakra is what leads everything. So it wouldn't more than likely be blocked per se. It might be bludgeoned. It might have a smudge on it. It could be a lot of things, but being blocked, you wouldn't. Let's put it this way: if you're searching and you're seeking, your heart is functioning. Your heart chakra is functioning because that is what leads us. That's the pump and the hubbub of existence for us in our electrical system. If you're thinking about something that you don't do or you don't feel, then that's something you can work on with your mental self. If it's got a smudge on it, all of us got smudges on our hearts, I believe. If we've lived the least little bit, we got smudges on our hearts because things affect us. And first thing that goes is the heart. It's pounding, or you feel a pain in your heart. But for it to be totally blocked, that would be unusual, especially for somebody reaching out and searching. But that does not mean that your heart chakra does not need work. It may need work for it to be fully empowered. And that's necessary because, like I say, it's right in the middle of the 7 chakras. It's the hubbub. It reaches up to the higher chakras and it reaches to the lower chakras. So it serves the entire electrical circuit in your being. If there's a smudge there, you go inside and you get in touch with yourself. There's something that has happened that has caused perhaps trauma or maybe a disbelief, and it's centered with your heart. If your heart is smudged, you go inside. Go inside and reach within your being to question what it is that would be better. Can I find it? Where is it? And I mean, ask those questions and allow the answers to come to you. Whoever that is talking about the heart chakra. And it's important because it's the connection to your higher self and your earth being.
That was Bad Girl, and she says that her friend felt her heart chakra. I'm just reading it. She says, my friend felt my heart chakra, and she said it was cold.
Yeah, there are some things that have happened to you, I'm sure. like I said, to be totally blocked, you're reaching out. So your heart is still functioning. Your heart chakra, your energy system in the chakra area is still functioning. But if there are scars there, if there's a smudge there, you go within. You go within and find out what it is that is causing a problem. And that your higher self can do. That your higher self can do until you can get to someone who, and I'm sure Dee has some suggestions for what you can do with gemstones. But until you can get, something additional to help, you go inside and search, because you know you better than anyone.
Right. And you mentioned crystals. You can get a rose quartz, some type of pink stone or green stone. That's the heart chakra. That's the color of the stones that resonate with the heart chakra. And then you can lay on your back and put the stone right there in the heart chakra area and just soak in the energies of the stone. And of course, cleanse the stone before you do any work with the stones. But just set it right there on that heart chakra. Let me just get one. Just set it right there on that heart chakra. I don't know if you can see me, but lay on your back and put it on your heart chakra area and just soak in the energies of the stone, because rose quartz is all about love. It's all about acceptance, things of that nature. So just lay on your back and soak in the energies of it. Maybe get a few stones, lay some on your heart chakra area, put some in your hands, and just soak in the energy of the stone. I mean, that's one thing that will help. Let's see if she said anything else.
I've got something else to add to that heart chakra. If you're finding that you're having a problem in that area, then that means that you have something that has to do with you more so than the outside world. And I would suggest that you find out just how much you love you. The heart chakra is the hubbub of an existence. And if it's a smudge on it, if there's a dark color anywhere, if it is, a blowout in that area, you first got to go within. Got to go within. And nobody knows you better than you. If you don't love yourself, if you don't have the highest regard for yourself, if you aren't in love with life, you can have a smudge there. Go within.
I just had a question about like what you're saying about like going within and feeling from your heart. I do notice that, like if I meditate a lot, particularly, sometimes even if I may not know like a full situation of what's going on or about to happen, sometimes like I get a feeling like in my chest, and it like kind of gives me an indication before I even like fully know what's happening. So sometimes, like, I guess if you want to call it like a bad feeling or a good feeling, or like or I need to be careful, like usually that's where like I'll feel like a sensation kind of as like I don't know what you would call that, but it's like a extrasensory like feeling. Like it's actually like a sensation I can feel in my chest that kind of change depending on what's going on.
You hear people say, I know it in my heart. My heart tells me so. It's the hubbub of us. And anything that is coming at us that's throwing us the least bit off balance, or that might be an aversion to us, our heart chakras get it.
And I guess another question I would think with that is like when you said like if it's something internal, then it's like you. Could you sort of say like any kind of like internal ailment is like a kind of internal sort of like mental like background like causing it, sort of, in terms of like chakras? Like you said, like if your throat, something hurts, then it has to do with an internal, like could everything kind of be narrowed down to some principle like that?
I'm glad you asked that, Norma, because the chakra is our guidance system for our body, mind, and spirit. Like I was saying, there's 3 aspects of us. And if there's anything that's not being addressed that is necessary for an individual, we're all different now. So one person might need one thing and another person need another thing. But if there's anything that's lacking, it will show up, in your emotional feelings, some kind of way. You'll feel some sort of way. And this then radiates out to whichever of the aspects is being left out. And it may eventually surface, as a disease. But usually we're lucky enough, we're cognizant enough, we're paying attention enough to recognize a symptom. Like, I'll keep having these headaches, or I got a low back pain. Just about everything that you can think of has a cause from somewhere in our electrical circuit. So you're correct. You're absolutely correct.
Wow. Okay.
And Bird Girl, I don't know, I'm sorry, I think I said Bad Girl before, but Bird Girl is saying that this is her response to what everything you said, Ia. She says, I have gone through a lot of trauma and I feel like that's where it came from. I am on a journey of healing though, and I'm trying to heal from the past. It's definitely hard, but I feel I'm getting somewhere.
Oh, good.
And then Aloha Star, she wanted to join us, but she said that her mic is not working. But so I think she might have a question or two for us. But also we have Allison is listening, and I tuned into Allison's chakras last night at 2 different times. The first time, Allison, it showed that your solar plexus was imbalanced and your third eye. The second time I tuned in, it says your sacral chakra was imbalanced and still your third eye. Another thing that keeps coming up for you, Allison, for some reason is fertility. Now, this could mean that, you are in the process of birthing maybe a business, or you have an idea that you're trying to bring into fruition. It could also point to some type of being that is your sacral chakra and your solar plexus. It's like you're going back and forth with those 2 being blocked. It could be something dealing with stomach problems, pregnancy, something like that. Let me know if any of this is like ringing a bell with you. I know you say you don't want to be on camera, but so that's what I have for you. And now, just now, as everyone, as Ia was talking, I tuned in again, and your third eye came up again for me. So, Ia, when someone's third eye is constantly like blocked or imbalanced, what is that a symptom of? Or, how can we handle that?
I want to go back and give a little bit of an explanation, depending on whether you're more spiritual, more physical, or more mental. Because all of us have the three aspects. But this person may be a physical person. And if you are a physical person and your third eye is blocked, that's telling you that you have another position. You don't have the mundane go out and aggressively get it. You're not seeing something. There's something that is of a higher calling that you're not seeing. And this is the only eye we're really supposed to be using. The navigation system that we have with the other 2 eyes, it's incidental, really. But your third eye is saying that you're not seeing something. If you are physically involved, constantly going, doing, and approaching and trying to accomplish, and that third eye is blocked, you are not seeing where you're supposed to be going. There were other chakras as well, Dee?
Well, with Allison, it was going back and forth between her sacral chakra and her solar plexus chakra.
Okay.
So, and one thing that kept coming up to me was fertility. So, either maybe she's pregnant or maybe she's trying to come up with an idea, like, almost like birthing a baby, but birthing a business. So I'm really curious to see. I don't know if you can just unmute your mic quickly, Allison, and
Yes.
chime in.
Hello.
But oh, wait, that's Allison. What did you say, Allison?
Yeah, I'm here. Um, I'm definitely not pregnant. But I have been working on a business plan for a particular type of business.
Okay. So that's why it's probably the fertility that keeps coming up. It's like you're trying to bring something out, bring something out into the world. So, like I said, she was going back and forth between the solar plexus and the sacral, but then the third eye was constant. Yeah.
Allison, I'd like to ask you, your reason for getting this business started, is it mainly for finances, or is it something that you really have a passion for?
No, it's not mainly for finances, but that's a part of it. But um, a lot of it has to do with being able to fund um, diff- um, fund a bigger dream, um, being able to help and empower and in the community. And so that's really been the main one of the main drives behind starting the business, is to be able to um, have that freedom and freedom with time, money, and everything else to be able to do greater work within the community.
Is this something that you're impassioned about, or is this something that you think is really great? Which would you say more of?
As far as the business,
Uh-huh. You want to work out in the community, make a difference. Is that a passion that comes from within, or is it just something that this needs to be done?
no,
And there's money in.
I feel it's a passion because it's something that's been there for a very long time and it never goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So
And
that's a passion.
so you're impassioned with it, and with your third eye being closed, it's telling me that you're not looking at something. There's something, the higher side of it, the main purpose of it is not being fulfilled. And for you to have, something going on in the solar plexus as well as the sacral area, you're not in alignment with your absolute. You're not in alignment with your absolute, either with a person that could be a benefit with you, to you rather, uh, in this position, uh, or a place. There's something that you're not seeing that you need to see, and you're not able. The solar plexus is saying that you're not digesting it well. All the things that are going into putting this business together. And if the sacral is indeed blocked, then that's the birthing of this, particular business. So I would get a paper and pen or a tablet, and I would write down everything that you want to unfold. Next to all of the things that you write that you want to have happen to unfold, write the reason why next to each one of them. It might take a couple of days, a couple of weeks, but you want to focus your energy forward. Okay, there's something that's you're not seeing. I don't know what it is, but you want to focus your energy forward when you have one main goal. Okay,
Okay.
and when you eliminate the reasons Sometimes you'll say, oh, well, I thought I really would like to be at the front, but I think I would like to be in the background. Next to that concept, you would write, I hate it, I like it, or I need it, or I want it. Do that type of thing, because you need to unfold. You need to let it open. You need to open it up. I'm not saying it correctly. You need to have the step-by-step process that leads forward on that path. And something, you're not seeing something, you're overlooking something, not doing it yet. But do the paper and pencil or a pad, a small pad, and try, writing down those different things. And next to the reason why.
Okay.
And when you're doing this, now don't just do it and forget it. Look over it. Because something needs to be opened up. Something needs to be uncovered.
Okay.
And that's another thing when it comes to getting finances and getting the flow of that along with what you're creating. You're not projecting forward. You gotta empower yourself to project it forward. And that's what our chakra system is, our empowerment. That's our chi. It's just like the electrical circuits in your house. That's what makes everything work. So with, the finances being in at one level and maybe getting a place, a location, that might be in another level. You need to put all those things, write them down, and write the emotion that goes along with it, or the feeling that goes along with it.
Okay.
Send your chi straight from your root chakra straight through your crown. And as you're doing it, the energy is going to start to radiate out through your aura, which is how it will empower you to propel you forward.
Okay, yeah, thanks. That definitely helps and resonates, because I kept trying to figure out like what was the stall, like with me moving forward.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Empower yourself. That means get that energy flowing from your root all the way through your crown. And the only way to do that is with everyone listening. We've got to learn how to take care of ourselves. Like I was talking to the first young man. If we don't know how to take care of ourselves, something changes us from hour to hour. You might get a call from an aunt, and there's something tremendous going on with the family, and that reorients your energy. On your way to work or coming home in the house, there's something went crazy in the house. That changes your energy. With you, Allison, focusing and writing it down is giving it life, because when you write things down, it gives it life. It's an energy now. And with your focusing on it with your mind, and eliminating some of the things that you are not seeing, maybe, or adding something that you're not seeing, you'll empower yourself to move forward. You'll have the energy and empowerment to move forward. It would be in your aura. You'll attract it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome.
And I just had like a quick question about, like, you're saying with the solar plexus, sacral, and like the third eye. Like, I guess that was sort of a basic overview. That would be like, I guess, like you said, a basic idea, and then maybe like the sacral chakra is like kind of putting that into movement, like, and then like a third eye could be like the different pictures and perceptions of that. So that's like another way that the third eye could be blocked, possibly.
Absolutely. Now remember, each of us are different. I keep saying that for a reason. Each of us are different. She may work on the physical more so than the spiritual. And so that third eye is not going to come into action as powerful as, some of the other chakras. But we have to keep the energy sort of balanced. That's why we ground, because if something is lacking in one of our aspects, then it can cause us to be, off center. We're not working as a unit, as a whole individual. So things show up in various ways, pictures, limitations, symptoms in the body. We're complicated, but yet we are complicated beings, but we work in we're all together.
Yeah.
Someone had a question. They wanted to know, this is for Aloha Star. She's asking, she wants to know what important changes does November bring in for her? I'm sorry, for you, Aloha Star. And so I did pull some cards for you, and I came up with truth. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see. Can you see the truth card? I'm not sure why it's not showing me. Oh, wait.
I see it on mine.
Sorry. Oh, you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is saying in November, it looks like you will receive clarity about something. So if you've been waiting on an answer about something, it looks like it is going to come this month. But you just have to be patient and wait for it. But you have the Ace of Swords. You see that? Triumphant success. So that's what's in store for you this month, Aloha Star. So that's really great. And let's see here. I think someone else might want to join us. I don't know if Cabbage Dragon wants to join us or not. But I wanted to tell you, Iya, about I did a reading for someone, and they had multiple blocks. This person had a block in the solar plexus, heart, and the root chakra. And this person is an actor, and he says he feels like he hasn't found any work yet, and he's just ready to give up. He doesn't know what's going on, why things are not falling into place for him. So he did have solar plexus blocked, heart blocked, and root.
When you're talking about the root, that's our connection to our being. Okay, that's our belonging. That's our connection to this realm, and not functioning and not being received sometimes causes a blockage in that root chakra. If you feel like you don't belong, or someone is looking down at you, perhaps your root chakra doesn't have the roots to nourish this whole being that you are. Okay, and being an actor takes in a lot, because it's a pretty, from what I understand, it's pretty hard to stay in the field and get the parts, or whatever it is that you're looking for, to materialize. I can understand your solar plexus. Many of us have our solar plexus out of alignment, simply because the solar plexus is where you get your nutrition. Now, we think of the physical body. When we eat and it goes into our stomach, we have to have the digesting. That's the same thing with deeds, things that happen in your life, such as not getting a job, not belonging, and people stepping in front of you and you being pushed aside. That's hard to digest. That's very hard to digest. The heart chakra, that's the hubbub. That is the central core. I'll say it over and over again. That's what keeps us here. Now, look at the physical body. They say once the heart goes, you might as well forget it. The heart stopped. There's nothing pumping. That is the pumping station for the chakras as well. So if you're not getting your feeding from your roots, you're not absorbing the nutrients through the roots of this whole being, and you can't digest anything coming in through the world, yes, your heart is going to have a blotch, and it's going to probably ache as well. If a person is not connected, I would tell them that they're going to have a difficult time. Number one, you've disconnected with you. That's a biggie. If you've disconnected with you, you're not going to go too far. You might make a couple of steps forward and 3 back. So getting your root chakra in alignment is your biggest and your first thing to do. And doing that, you're grounding. You need to ground with Mother Gaia, first of all, but with this realm. Are you comfortable here? Do you believe that you have the right to be here and have everything? Are you going to grasp it and accept it? A lot of emotional things can trigger misalignment of our chakras. If you're having a hard time belonging here, you're not going to be able to get the nutrition in the way of feedback, camaraderie, placement, position. All of these things are going to, so to say the most important thing to do is to get grounded with your root chakra. And to, again, go inside, go within you, sir, and find out why you are not grounded. Are you feeling like you're lost? Are you feeling like people push you aside? If that is so, you have to empower you. You have to have that. I know I can do it, Muhammad Ali. I can do it. I'm the best. I'm this, I'm that. And you have to go inside and believe it. You got to know it and you take it. And when you take it, you accept it. A lot of times we deserve things and we believe we should have things, but we don't accept it. Like, really? Me? Huh? Oh, wow. Emotions can affect your chakra. Go inside and ground. Connect to this realm. Connect to your body, your being, to this realm and your purpose so that you can project forward and claim. And once you claim, you accept. That will clear up your solar plexus. Okay. Belonging and getting the nutrition of the substance that you need to survive. You know, and then projecting it is definitely going to go forward once you are who you're supposed to be. With empowerment, take it, accept it, and your heart will be very happy.
Okay.
Is he
So,
live? Or that
no,
was
he's not on here.
Mm-hmm. I would like to ask him a question. That's too bad.
So, let's see if someone else has a question. Okay, I think Cabbage Dragon is joining us. You can join us, Cabbage Dragon, and keep your if you don't want to be on camera, you can turn your camera around and just use your microphone if you want to do it that way. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so also there was, let's see, I did a reading for someone and her throat chakra was blocked. And what came up for me, which I did relate to the person, was that she had built up resentment and it was causing her throat chakra to be imbalanced. So, and when I mentioned that to her, she was like, you know, I do have someone that I really, she's just tolerating the person, but she really wants to give the person a piece of her mind and is just building up that resentment. So she did, she did tell me that after I I did pick that up from her, that she had built up resentment, and it was just right there in that throat chakra.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what do you tell somebody with a blocked throat chakra?
It would be a good idea. We don't want to ever pull in negativity. So I'll say it this way. It would be a good idea to speak your piece, but find a tactful way to do it. We don't ever want to bring in a negative situation if it's not necessary. So in speaking your piece, you can find a way to tactfully let that person know that this is how I feel. If this person is actually being true to themselves and that's who they are, then you need to back away from them. You need to back away from them. If you can't back away from them, you need to put up a shield so that they don't affect you. Anything that constantly affects you and affects a particular chakra is going to show up in some way in your personal life, be it through your body or your emotions, or your spirit. Throat chakras are important. We give life through our throat chakra. Words have life, just like writing something down. You start the concept, you bring it into creation. Words are the first step. You say it, it comes to life. If you don't say it, you're swallowing all of that inside. And it's going to show up if you don't do something to alleviate it. You doing a reading on her, Dee?
Let's see. Someone had a question. Okay. Excuse me. I'm just reading the question. It says, someone is asking, will I change jobs soon? I'm really at my breaking point with my job. Should I just go ahead and invest in my business? That's making me think about a reading I did for someone. And I picked up on that his root chakra was blocked. I'm sorry, I keep looking over here. My computer is over here, which I'm looking at the chat over here, but the camera is here. So I picked up that his root chakra was blocked, and that he was feeling like his stability was just totally just like blown to pieces. And he admitted to me that he had just lost his job. So it seems like that is the root chakra is all about foundation, stability. So by him losing his job, he was feeling like his stability was just totally not there. So what do you say to, because Ia is a spiritual counselor. If for anybody who's just joining us, we have Ia with us. She's a spiritual counselor. So Ia, what do you tell someone with a root chakra as far as, balancing, getting that balance back into that root chakra?
Again, I will say that your root chakra is your connection here to this realm. Okay, that's how we ground. We need to be grounded because we have this electricity flowing through us. If we're not grounded and the root chakra is blocked, then we're probably going to have a very difficult time trying to move forward. Okay. Grounding can be done in a number of ways. You can meditate. Some people find it hard to meditate when they're not grounded. You can write, journal your thoughts, your hopes, and your dreams, and what has caused your problems. You can also get some help with someone who does tapping, the EFT tapping, because that's a very instrumental in clearing up something as traumatic as, okay, the job is gone and my root chakra is blocked and I'm not having a good feeling about moving forward, moving backward, moving sideways. You need to get some support with that. But for definite, you've got to do your grounding. You can visualize if you know how to visualize, and you can see the roots within the planet, your connection to Mama Gaia. If you don't know how to visualize, I would say that you need to find someone that can show you how to do it. Any type of a meditation, just general meditation, not specific meditation, meditating on relaxing and removing stress, because anyone that is not grounded definitely has the stress on the entire electrical system, because you're not getting the sustenance from the roots. So ground if you can, visualize if you can. If you don't know how to do these things, or you're not in a yoga program, something to relax you, then I would suggest that you find someone to help you reconnect.
Okay, so that definitely makes sense to reconnect. Now I'm just tuning in for Shania. Did anyone else have a question while I'm tuning in for Shania? Okay, someone else asked a question. I want to ask, what blockage do I have? Is it possible for you to get on this Google Hangout, Sonia? Just let me know. If not, I'll tune in a few minutes. I'm still working on Shania. Okay, so while I'm working on Shania, I just want to mention also that, okay, we talked about root, we talked about throat, we talked about crown in the beginning, right?
Yes, with
Solar plexus, heart. Oh, seems like we've talked. What about sacral? We haven't talked about sacral chakra.
well, we did. We touched on it a bit when we were talking
Oh,
to one of your people. Her chakra her sacral was blocked, I think it was, and she
yeah.
was in the process of producing. That's our productive area, whether it be for producing children or moving into your destiny, a focused goal. The chakra is empowered when you have a goal and you're fulfilling it. That's giving birth. That's your productive area, the chakral area. That orange vibration that they give to that chakral area has a combination of a yellow and a red, which gives us the orange. You need the root chakra energy, the red, and you need the digestion or the nutrition of the yellow of the solar plexus. The sacral chakra is important, especially any person under the age of 60. It's of great importance because you're constantly producing. You're moving forward on your path. Once you're past 60, it should be in balance because you're still going to produce, you're still going to be productive, but we're not accomplishing and conquering and moving out into the world. The sacral is important for 60 and under.
Okay, 60 and under.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Up
So now I
to.
finished doing the reading for Shania.
Mm.
Shania is asking, will she change jobs soon? And she says she's at her breaking point with her job. I did pull the emotional withdrawal card. That's how you're feeling right now as far as your job. However, you do have the hope card. Okay. So it looks like you should stay there a bit longer because I know you mentioned your business and you might want to go on ahead and just go on ahead and get started on your business. And then once your business is up and running, then you can leave the job. But you have a lot of emotional cards here. Now, you also have the spiritual union card, the partnerships and alliances. You might want to think about forming a partnership with someone. Um, who can maybe be there full time with the business as you work. I'm not sure if you have to work or if you are financially able to just leave your job, but you also have the shadow card. So there's some kinks that you need to work out. This is the moon card in the traditional tarot deck. So it looks like there's some things that you need to work out in relation to your business slash job situation before you just quit your job. I mean, I know you're frustrated. You know, we all have been to that point where we just want to walk off the job, but you also have choose wisely. So before you make any rash decisions, just think about all of the outcomes. You know, if you walk off the job, you know, are you going to be able to pay your rent for the next 6 months while you get your business off the ground? Things of that nature. So the answer to that is it looks like the cards are saying no, you shouldn't just walk off the job right now, but gradually work on your business. But there are a lot of emotional cards here for you. A lot of cards for you. So that was Shania. Do you have anything to add as far as keeping her chakra in balance while she's going through this, Ia?
It's definitely a necessity that she be empowered in order to overcome what she's going through and then move forward. So I would suggest that she visualize and meditate on all of her chakra. She needs to be empowered.
Okay, I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Okay. Does anybody else have a question who's in the Google Hangout with us?
I actually did have a question, because we're talking about the blockages and like different ways they manifest. I was kind of confused as to like colds, for example. Like if you have like a common cold or like sinus infection, is that like a throat chakra problem, or I mean, like, which would that correspond with?
If it's involving sinus and cold, that's congestion, is it not?
Yeah.
It's congestion, which means there's a lot going on. Okay, and that may be symbolic of all of the aspects of you. Not that anything is necessarily blocked, but everything is congested. There's bits and pieces of something somewhere. Everything is symbolic of a block or a lack of flow. It doesn't have to be totally blocked. It could have some of our arteries and some of our veins are somewhat clogged, and there's a flow, but it's not sufficient. That's similar to what goes on with the chakra.
Okay. Thanks.
But now someone whose physical body is always attracting cold, that is a part of their makeup. It's not that your chakra is blocked. It's that a lot of things are going on that are out of whack. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't mean just one chakra or that something is absolutely blocked. You're clogged.
Okay, I see. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to draw a fine line, to explain it all, because we, like I said, we're complicated. We're unique.
It's like a lot of the different chakras are like interconnected and relate to each other in some sort of way, and it can be more than just one.
Absolutely. And how it affects your spiritual may be different than how it affects your mental. Your mental might just say, oh, the heck with it, I'll back out for a while, depending upon what type of person you are, mental, spiritual or physical. But it does show up in some way, and it's getting your attention. We are actually perfect. It's our conditions that we attract to us that cause the imperfections.
Okay, I see.
Okay, so I just did a reading for Sonia Sadhu. She was asking about her, if she has any blockages. And for I felt that she has upper blockages. I'm showing that her crown, she's going through some blockages with her crown, her third eye, and her heart is like on the verge of closing. Like the light is very, very dim in the heart chakra. Um, that was the, let me see, was it the throat? I'm sorry, it was the throat chakra, the crown chakra, the third eye and the heart. The light is very low in that. So that's 4 different areas. So she has a lot of upper blockages. Yeah.
When you get lights that are dim, sometimes we have to take a break. Sometimes we have to take a break. So sometimes when you have a dim light, it doesn't mean that anything is absolutely wrong. It's backing away till something else can take over, you know, because you're in need of something else working. With her crown or third eye, that's all right. It can back away if there is something else that she's needing, if there is something else that she's not doing. And our solar plexus and our root are the biggest contributors to, you know, getting the body's attention. You know, they might have a smudge on them. They might have a partial blockage, you know, but if the light is dimmer, then that means they're in the background. And that's for a reason.
So maybe she needs to kind of take more time to rest or reflect.
She just wanted to know which one of her chakras were blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. This is a time when she really needs to get on the job, so to speak, with her body. Find out, you know, is there something that is beginning to need your attention? If the light is not showing bright, if it's dim, like the other young lady that was speaking, she said that her friend told her that it was cold, I think on her heart chakra. If there's a feeling there, there's intense energy or there's coldness, it's pointing to the fact that you need to find out what is going on that is lacking or is out of balance. It doesn't have to be lacking. It could be too much. You might be focusing on something that doesn't need as much attention, you know, and is causing the lights to dim and they're just moving to the background. If she is a physical person, she may be overly involved in coming and going and doing and what have you. And she's the third eye is, okay, let's take a hiatus here. We're going to take a break. And if the heart is, you know, showing dim, then she's backing away from something else. When those lights dim, they are taking, you know, the backstage. They're moving back. They're not promoting as much energy as, you know, is normal when you are balanced.
Okay.
But she needs to go within and find out. Don't just rest. This is the time to work.
Gotcha. He says that this resonates with her.
Okay.
Oh, wait, did I press enter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then she was asking, she says, she do for my blockages. So I think, did you just answer that, I believe?
Yeah, they're not blocked. They're backing away because they're not getting the necessary energy for you to be balanced, to be whole. Okay. You don't have to do anything with them. because they're waiting for you to do the rest of the work, bringing everything to the forefront, empowering yourself. Root chakra, are you here? You're functioning. Sacral chakra, are you involved? Are you thinking about moving forward? Your solar plexus, get all of those in alignment. What is it in your life that you're not comfortable with that's causing you to have indigestion, say to speak? That type of work. It's time to really make sure that the surge of energy needs to go up through your entire being.
So that it can reach her crown chakra, so her crown chakra can become unblocked.
Yeah, so she can have her flow of chi. She needs it.
Okay. Asking, I'm moving out of the U.S. around mid-December. I have two places in mind, Belize or Mexico. I'll just do a quick reading. I think we have someone else in the Google Hangout with us that wants to ask a question too. Belize or Mexico? Ooh, two beautiful places. Okay, Belize or Mexico? This is for Sammy Hill. Belize or Mexico? I'm so sorry I'm looking over here, but I'm just looking at the chat. Okay, Belize, you have love begins, Sammy. Mexico, you have conflict and defeat. So, looks like the cards are saying Belize. You have the love begins card for that, Sammy. Okay, let's see here. Does anyone else have a question? Did you have a question, Cabbage Dragon? Let's see, is Cabbage Dragon in here? Okay, let's see. I'm just scrolling down on the chat. And let's see. Okay, so Sammy, he received the message. Okay. You're welcome, Sammy. And, okay. Any chakra questions for anybody? Let's see. I'm just making sure I'm caught up on the chat. That's why I miss Pam, because Pam was able to read the chat. So I focused on, the readings or something. Okay. Oh, and Sammy is in Dallas, and he's moving to Belize or Mexico. So yeah, Belize looks like the best choice for you, Sammy. And let's see, I think someone else has a question. How does A feel about me? I've had this connection with this person that I just can't get over. Lately, I've been having dreams where this person needed me but was not telling me. Oh. Yeah, when you constantly have dreams about someone. Oh, I can't hear you, Ia.
Did you ask me a question? I didn't hear you said.
Oh, yes. Okay, I was asking, someone is asking, they've been having dreams about a particular person lately. This is coming from Bird Girl. She wants to know how somebody feels about her. And she says, I've had this connection with this person that I just can't get over. Lately, I've been having where this person needed me but was not telling me.
You broke up a little bit, but I want to explain something, the part that I heard. When you can't get over someone and they keep coming through your dreams, anytime you develop a relationship, a close relationship with someone, you develop cords that are attached to you. Okay. If the person is not letting go, but they don't want you to know that they're not letting go, you may dream about them. But if you're focusing on them and you can't get over them, there's a cord attached to you from that person. And that's natural. That happens with everyone that gets involved with a person.
Okay.
And if she's having dreams, that's the other person.
Oh, that's the other person trying to
If
connect
you
with
dream,
her?
if you're constantly dreaming about the person, then that's them not wanting to let go, but they don't want you to. They're not going to be in your life, or they're backing away, but they can't let go.
Oh, okay, they can't let go. Mm. And speaking of can't let go, I did a reading for someone, and her heart chakra and crown chakra was blocked. And she was going through something, well, similar, where the person, she couldn't get over this person.
Mm.
And it was causing her heart chakra to be blocked, but then the crown chakra also was blocked. Like she was out of touch with source.
Mhm.
What's that combination about the heart and the crown chakra?
It depends upon how severe the pain is, the discomfort is, the emotional feeling is that affects the heart like that, because your crown will shut you down. It's sort of like an overdrive. Okay. If you've got something constantly coming in from your higher wisdom, your higher consciousness, and you're all discombobulated in the rest of you, then it has to, give you a rest. The human body is great, but it's not going to get through a whole lot of input. It will actually fry. It's just like a surge in electricity in a house. So the body does the protecting, close you down for a little bit, and that's good. That's good.
Okay, we have someone else asking. Oh, were you? Did you say something else?
Me? No.
Yes.
No.
Someone else is asking, how does a certain person feel about them? This is Hello Haru, and they're asking, how does C really feel about me? How do you feel about people really prying into how someone feels about them?
I will allow energies to come through if the person gives permission, but from a one-sided point of view, that's against my belief.
Okay. Okay, so Hello Haru, this is how he's feeling about you. This is what the cards are saying. So he feels like, I don't know if you work together and you're his boss, or you have some type of working relationship. He's feeling like you are the authority. Maybe he's looking at your life and feeling like you have your life together. But as far as, I think you're asking about whether you, does he see you like in a romantic way? Now you do have two cup cards. You have fulfillment of wishes, which is the 9 of cups and the 7 of cups. So when he thinks about you, it looks like he might have some other options right now, but he feels like if he chooses you, he feels like it's a good choice as far as romantically. But ultimately, he feels like you have your life together. So that's great. Let me know what you think about that. Someone else is saying hello. All right. Oh, so do you want to talk about chakra meditation, Iya?
Meditating, from the class, I think we talked a little bit about everyone needing to know how to take care of themselves. Anyone listening now, any problem that you have, you have the answer within. Just like we have the empowerment through our chakra, we have our intuition, we have our guides, we have all these tools that were given to us. Meditating on your chakra allows you to open up on all levels. Number one, your connection. Number one, your abilities. Number two, rather, your abilities, your sacral area. Number three, how you project, whether everything is working in alignment in your life, your heart, your pump, your control, your healing. Everything is available to us. Giving birth through words. Meditating on the different areas that are not out of alignment. That don't, if you're you're out of alignment, you're not going to want to meditate generally. You're going to want to go into the ones that are out of balance and find a way to get them in balance, whether it's working on that particular chakra, with gems, with visualization or whatever. But the average person that is basically balanced, that's when you do the general meditation. You learn how to meditate on your chakra so that you can keep it in balance. But once something is out of balance, you need a little bit more work. But general meditation, you can meditate on the colors on each of the chakra. You know, the colors that were given to them were given to them by man. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of different colors that would be attributed, say, to my heart chakra. And the next person might have, you know, something totally different, a deeper color or another color. But meditating on your body, knowing your body when your body is asking for something or when you want to create something, that's the perfect thing to do, is meditate all the time. Make sure your being is in alignment. But when you're out of balance, you need to find out how to focus on that specific area that is out of balance. And as far as meditation, it can be combined with visualization, which is good because you get to see the colors. You get to see the intensity of the colors. You get to see whether it's radiating in all directions and not just a blotch here and maybe a shadow here. Those things need help.
That's good to know. And let's see, I don't think we have any more chakra questions. Does anyone have any chakra questions?
I have a question about the chakras. If you're trying to do like a visualization or even just trying to like focus and like realign them, if whatever particular chakra that one chakra you're having trouble, whatever, changing that to like a brighter color, does that correspond to like how it needs work per se? Like maybe some chakras you can just imagine it a brighter color like really quickly, but then like another one, it's really like it seems like it's stuck, almost like it's harder for you to imagine that one color differently, and no matter it keeps changing. Like,
I find that happens a lot with me. By counseling, I deal with a lot of different emotions and a lot of different things around my mind, as well as I am a human being and I have things that I have to keep in alignment. So a lot of times, I was telling Dee just the other day, my throat chakra is not what I think it should be. It should be this beautiful blue, this deep blue, and I always have powder blue. And this has been going on for years. I started out with a throat chakra problem because I just did not want to be bothered with talking. I thought it was useless, and I had to get my alignment together. It's at the point where it is healthy for me. So if you don't get the color that you want, allow it. Okay? Allow it and address it. And you talk to your body. Get in the habit of talking to your body. Are you sure this is all right for you? Is there something I'm not getting? Is there something I'm not understanding? I talk to my wrist, my heart, my head. I talk to everything because this is all I've got. And this is how I'm going to be as long as I'm here in this realm. So I'm making sure that I know me. When you know you, you don't have to worry about someone, oh God, I gotta go find somebody to help me do this, that, or the other. No. If you see that color different today than it was yesterday, talk to yourself. Is it that you don't need to be bright and something else is showing up and needing attention? Find out. All of us are different and all of us are the same. You're different in that you've got a lot of things going on. Okay. And you might need to be empowered through your throat, and your root is just getting the nutrition and just being there. It might be a low vibration of red, and your throat might, you're in class. You might have to respond to what's going on in class, and you might have this brilliance show up for a matter of hours, and later on, your heart chakra comes into play. So you need to learn you. It's not going to be static, one thing all the time.
Right.
And getting to know yourself, you will know, oh, this is the color that it was when I was trying to work on my resume. Or this is the color, when I bumped my ankle the other day and it swelled up on me. This is the color that my root chakra was. You'll get to find out who you are when you get in touch with all those colors, how they resonate with you if you're emotionally involved in something and the colors are flickering. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it.
Okay.
Yeah, the colors are important, but they're not that important. Don't feel like just because I don't have a real good green is something wrong with my heart. I had a chartreuse in my heart, and I'm like, what the heck? And I went on and I questioned. I wrote down some things and I answered some things, and I went back in and I started talking to my heart. At that particular time, it was in the process of getting more energy through because I was going through something that was pretty traumatic.
Okay, so it kind of just depends on, I guess, that particular moment in time.
Yeah, learn you. Learn what's comfortable with you. If you're not having any symptoms that are saying, oh, there's a problem, and if you're not stalled in the world, everything hasn't closed off from you, and you're basically in alignment, you don't have anything to worry about. It's just something taking over that needs to take over when something else is backing away.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Sure.
And we have a question. Someone is asking, how do you know what chakra is open or closed? Like, what if someone just wants to know within themselves? They don't want to go to a Reiki specialist, or they don't want to go to, someone who can tune into the chakras. How can someone know? That's her question. That's from Sport 444.
If this person is a regular user of meditation, that's the best way to get in touch with the chakra. Okay, formulate for yourself, and that's basically how I started with the chakra. I formulated for myself what was going on, and the more I did it, the more I was able to see, oh, this is, needing something, or it's not quite the way it ought to be. Formulate a process for yourself. In other words, if you are starting somewhere, you want to start with your root chakra. Make sure you're grounded and come up all the way to your crown, and then look at the entire being. See if your chakras are resonating and sending out the energy of their colors into your aura. You can ask questions as well. You don't have to always go by what I say. Go by what your body says, but get in the habit of it. And once you get in the habit of it, then you will have your formula for finding out what's going on, how it's going on. Is there a change? And like I said, you change from hour to hour, day to day. But the symptoms are what's going to tell you something's wrong. Something's wrong. But until you learn what is good for you, what is normal for you, you'll have to wait on symptoms, unfortunately, or someone to tell you. But start processing. Don't just wait until you have a need. Start paying attention to your being. Ask questions of it. Work with every one of the chakra. And I want to give you some advice. So the 7 chakra are not the only ones that we have. There are a lot of chakras. This is our main core on how we exist. And there is one below us, which is called the earth chakra. There is one above us, which is the soul star chakra. Connecting all of you, and especially spiritual people, to that soul star chakra, especially physical people to that earth star chakra. Those are important things to do. Learn your body, link up with your chakra, develop a formula that is telling you everything's A-okay. You'll know if you feel okay. You'll know if you feel out of alignment, and you'll begin to be able to visualize, and especially the aura and how far it is projecting from your body. That's another thing that is going to empower you to move forward, to attract.
And can you tell us some more about the soul star chakra and the earth star? Because those are chakras that we never really hear about or really get in touch with, really.
We focus mainly on the 7 ones because they are the ones that we are to empower ourselves. The earth star chakra and the soul star chakra are there. They are the tools, the additional tools that we can use, that we can learn to use. But the necessary ones, most definitely, are the 7 within our physical makeup, because they serve the 3 bodies. Okay. If they are in alignment and everything is working basically smoothly in our lives, and we don't have a lot that we are finding that's being blocked from us, then there's a meditation that I use that's good for all of us. I go to my soul star chakra and make sure that I'm in alignment with my path, my destiny, what I came here for. And I bring in the vibration of my soul. Now, the vibrations, the color vibrations, and the energy of my soul changes frequently because I do many things spiritually. But I bring in the highest energy for me at that point in time and allow it to fill my aura. From my aura, in servicing my aura, because I want to project. I need to project me out into the world as long as I'm here. From my aura, I then go through my crown chakra and bring the energy of the soul star chakra, because I have to keep the connection, the spiritual connection, the higher wisdom. I must have that in order to counsel people. When I bring it down through my crown chakra, that's dealing with the wisdom and the understanding and the empowerment of each and every one of us down here. You come down to your third eye so that you can see clearly, see without blinders on. Get in the habit of the intuition melded with all the other facets of us. We have to use everything when we're out in the world. But those of us that work in, say, a spiritual alignment all the time, they need that just for inner work. But needless to say, you still need it. Go through your third eye chakra down to your throat chakra. You want to be able to project and to let people know who you are. You have to be you. To thine own self be true, was said by a very famous person. And that is true. Saying and talking and producing through your throat chakra, coming down to that central core, which operates the higher chakra, and the lower chakra is the heart chakra. That is the pumping station. That is the one that keeps the energy flowing. And through our hands, it serves our hands, the palms of our hands, where healers work, where you produce and make things. This is the pump from the heart, from your love, from your focus and your desires. Okay, then you go down to your solar plexus. You've got to be fed by this world. Enthused with something, and you digest it wonderfully. If you love doing something, you're getting joy, this is going to digest well, and it's going to promote a nutrition for your producing in your sacral chakra. You go down to that root chakra, you're connected to this realm. You've got your roots buried deep within this realm. And to of course, Mama Gaia, who is the host of all of us. Down through that root chakra, through your earth star chakra, is a channel. And this is my formula. This is how I set it up. I see a channel reaching down to the core of the earth. Within the core of the earth is a recycling center. Anything that does not do me well, anything that I need to eliminate, anything that I found in the upper chakras, I send down through that channel down into the core of the earth to be recycled. I ask Mother Gaia, bring me the nutrition that is for my highest good at this point in time. And then I allow the grounding energy to come back and to fill my entire being.
Wow. So that soul star chakra sounds like it's really connected. I mean, it's connected. It's all connected, but it seems like the aura and the soul star chakra are kind of like, closer, so to speak.
In
like they're more connected.
In some people, they're farther away because they need to be, depending upon if something is lacking in the lowest chakra, and that's something that you're dealing with, something that is a necessity for you, then the soul star chakra will always be there, will always have an influence, because that is your soul connection, but it might not be flourishing and sending the excess of energy to keep you, really excelling up there in your crown chakra or your third eye. But your root chakra and your earth star chakra, those are the ones that are right there, empowered, period.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. I'm so glad you were able to join with us today, Ia. And if anyone wants a private reading with Ia, how can they contact you?
They can contact me through my email, open2all, the number 4, letter U, @gmail.com. open2all4u@gmail.com. Love to hear
and
from
also, if anyone is interested, I do have, Ia has published several books, and I did put the links to her books in the description box below. Also, I do astrology, and I do have my astrology book for 2019. It's available on Amazon, and I have the link for that book in the description box as well. So check it out. Also, let's see, anything else? Anything you wanted to add, Ia?
I just want to thank everyone for dropping by today, and I hope if there was a question you had that it was answered. And I really truly appreciate everyone waking up at this point, especially you young people. I love it. Because you've got your whole life ahead of you. And if you're empowered to operate it completely, that thrills me. That thrills me because my decades before now, people didn't speak up, they didn't ask questions, they didn't seek help. But I believe everybody should take all the tools that the Most High God gave us and use them to empower ourselves. Thank you for inviting me, Dee. It was a pleasure being here. Nice talking with everyone.
I would say thank you for helping also.
Oh, you're welcome, Norm. You're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
And I just want to piggyback off what you said about everyone waking, being awake. I am finding more of that. I'm finding more people into tarot now. More people are into astrology. You know, more people are into the chakras now. More so than you would see years ago.
Oh,
you know,
gosh.
so I feel like it's becoming more acceptable. I mean, years ago, when somebody being into the chakras, it was like, oh, you know, they're you know, into some crazy stuff or whatever, but now it's becoming more acceptable. So I'm really glad to see this. I'm glad to see this time that we're in now. What is it? Age of Aquarius?
Well, you know, like I go back to August 2017 in the eclipse, when that shift opened up, there was a surge of energy sent in, you know, to lift us up, to help us to wake up, because that's at the point where our planet is. We're evolving. And yeah, this is the age of Aquarius.
I'm loving it. I'm really loving it.
Me too.
Well, if anybody would like to contact me, you can email me at citrineshaka@gmail.com. Also, visit my website, metaphysicalmoonlighters.com. You can book readings there. And also, I have House of Gaia. I have a link on my website for House of Gaia, and that is Ia's blog. And she posts events on her blog, and, you know, she talks about different events and classes that she has coming up as well. So I do thank everybody for tuning in today, and we'll have to do this again.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. And until next time, everybody have a great week.
Blessed be.
Yeah.